Welcome to the Made You Smile podcast. My name's Melinda.
And I'm Carrie, and we're here to bring you fun, laughter, and maybe even a few aha moments.
So ready, set, smile. Oh wait, I didn't smile.
I love it when you're gonna surprise me.
You know what? I have, sometimes I will write down, there is a episode of, I'll fix my shirt, episode of the Gilmore Girls where if you've watched through it.
Yes.
I have too, many, many times. And so there is an episode where Rory and Lorelai had been estranged for a while. They haven't been together in a long time. And so Lorelai would just write down random thoughts that she had that she would have shared with Rory had they been talking, but they haven't. So she had this big list of just these random thoughts. And so
did you do that?
I do
for
have
us?
that. I have those.
Okay.
And these are things that I've learned.
Why couldn't you tell me?
Well, I wrote them down because I wanted to save it for the podcast.
Okay.
But it's just random things that I've learned these have nothing to do with each other. Like they're just these little tidbits of information that makes my life easier.
Just little gifted
thoughts
that come throughout the
little glitter sprinkle fairy dusting of fun knowledge that is.
It goes under the knowledge category.
It does. Some of it does.
Okay.
Yes, but then some of it's like a life hack.
Okay.
But it's those really boring adult things, but that you're like, that's so cool. Yes. Okay. I love this. So these are just some things that have made my life easier. You ready? Okay.
Goodness.
The first thing that I learned this from my dear friend Kim West. I have two friends named
Dr. Kim, right?
No, I have
different Kim West.
Yes, I have
Okay.
two
I'm thinking of Kim,
friends named Kim West. I have Kim West, my friend, and Kim. Hello, Kim, because she listens to our podcast. She has a son, Carl, and Graham were buddies all through elementary, high school. They played on the same soccer team, blah, blah, blah. And then I have my friend Kim West, and in my phone, it's Kim West, Trayson's mom. So this is another Kim West who we go to church with, and her son is also best friends with my son.
It's going to blow my mind if another Kim West comes
I
into
can't handle any more Kim West. They're both beautiful and unique in their own way. But this Kim West is Trayson's mom. She helps me out with college ministry at the church. But she turned me on to something that has changed my life.
Okay.
Mail delivery notifications. Am I late to the party here? I don't know. This might be a common knowledge thing. You can sign up for mail delivery notifications. So every morning I get an email update from the USPS.
Oh, that says your mail has been delivered?
No, that says here's what's coming today. And it has a screenshot of every piece of mail that I should be getting that day. And the reason I found this out is because Kim West, Trayson's mom, Trayson is getting married, and she came over to my house, and I had her son's wedding invitation on my refrigerator. And I was like, Kim, look at I got the invitation. And she was like, when did you get that? I was like, yesterday. And she goes, I haven't even got mine yet. And I know it's not in there today because mail delivery notification said it would. I was like, wait, what?
Well,
so
okay.
It's a free service that you can go.
That's wonderful. How do they have time to do that?
I don't know. There must be something already that they had, and it would have been nothing.
Picture.
Yes.
As it passes through the...
Yes.
Oh, then I would know when I get Cindy Smith's
Exactly.
mail, and I could say, hello.
Exactly.
The names don't match.
And it also says packages. Here's what packages that are coming in the post office from the post service. Yes, question. I see that, Ann.
I have a suggestion for them.
Yes.
Then you should be able to say to them, no, thank you.
I
don't want Cindy Smith's or other resident mail coming here.
Coming in my mailbox. Mm-hmm. So you know that.
Take that out. Cindy Smith doesn't live here anymore.
That's a mailbox. That's a mailman thing. A mail person thing.
No, I'm saying it should be able to just be added in.
Did she live there before you did? And that's why you get her mail?
I also get other people's mail from Amherst that are 2201. And I'm like, this isn't the same street?
Yep. So that's
Well, that is neat.
isn't that a fun
I
favorite
hate
thing?
to. Okay, that I was doing you offered me a neat service, and then I
Yeah.
immediately came back with something that could be done
That's
to
okay.
improve it even more.
That's okay.
But that is a neat service.
That is your special gift. Is I'm just moving the camera over there a
Oh.
little bit of like taking a good thing and making it gooder.
I do that to Greg too, though.
Mm.
He does something good. He says, "Look, I did this," and I'll say, and I get so excited about the progress that's been made,
Yes.
that I feel like I can then go, "Oh,
Hey,
and now
you
we
know
can."
what else? Yeah, totally.
Okay, so good job, Postal Service.
So here's the next thing: random things that I learned
right.
that I think was really
Little fairy dust
interesting.
sprinkle.
You know, we use the word ruthless.
Yes,
What does ruthless mean?
I'm just. You don't even consider feelings. Like
Yeah.
you go in with broad strokes
Yes.
and just
Yes. Yeah.
fire the whole team instead
Yes.
of. Yeah.
So the word ruth is the root of that ruthless. And so ruth actually means compassion for other people's misery. If you have ruth for someone, I have compassion for other people. And I mean, that's a very Christian concept.
That is good, because a lot of those words, we were talking about words
Yeah.
the other day that have a like dismantled.
Did you mantle it?
Yeah, what's
Yeah.
mantled.
Yes.
And so, but this actually has the
Yeah.
root that means something.
It's like what's his face from The Office says, I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious.
And it should be.
It
I
should
think
be,
there
yeah.
should be a word to that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's ruthless.
Interesting.
I know,
Okay.
right? Okay. Oh, this is one of my favorite
Okay.
things. Are you ready for this?
I'm ready.
Okay.
I'm ready.
Do you have a subscription to Spotify?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Did you know if you have a subscription to Spotify, there's two things that if you're not doing this, you may not know that you can.
Okay. I guarantee you I don't know I can.
Books are on Spotify. And if you have a subscription, they're included in your subscription.
I may have known
There
that.
was a book that we were reading that I highly, highly, highly cannot recommend enough by Brant Hansen called Unoffendable. And
talked about that.
we bought the book because Randy wanted to read it. And so I just happened to wonder if this is on Spotify. Because I went looking for dramas. That's the other thing that I love on Spotify are radio dramas.
Oh,
Like
you know, I've
full
thought
on like radio. And these are like A-lister actors. I listened to one that was so interesting with Oscar Isaacs, who's one of my favorite actors, and Julianne Moore. And it was like this sci-fi sort of radio drama.
Interesting.
And I will one day, it is in my list of things to do, my bucket list of things to do. I am going to one day create a radio drama to publish and to do storytelling. But it's not like a narrator reading a book. It's like actors, like the old-timey radio dramas before there was TV, and everybody would gather around the radio and listen to the radio dramas. They have that on Spotify. You can go and find all kinds of, most of them that I've listened to are sci-fi, but it's like post-apocalyptic dramas and what happens if we lose all power. And so so
I'm all Dateline, 48 Hours.
yes.
Whodunits.
Yep. That's for sure. But you can, if you want to listen to those like a drama, like a play acting out, like with real voices, you can go listen to that. But there's audiobooks on there. And
That's
so
interesting. Okay.
I went and listened to an audiobook. And what was so great about the book Unoffendable is that Brant Hansen, who was and is, I don't know, maybe he still is, a radio DJ for K-Love, it's where I've discovered him, he reads his own book. And so it's really interesting to listen to him.
And of course, he's got the voice.
He's got the voice
to read his
and the
own book.
comedy beats, and it's so funny. And there's extra content on the audio than that's in the book. I think my sister, I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. he's supposed to come to our church to speak. So I do have the book. So I got my book ready so he can sign it. It's so good. Unoffendable.
Are you going
Please.
to have to go and erase that?
Please go. I don't care. Nobody's listening to this. Who are we kidding? That's funny. Okay, here's something else. This is the last thing I got. I just hope this makes your life a whole lot better. I think this will change everything. Okay, if you got a necklace, if you have a necklace, and you know what the claw clasp is.
Yes.
Like that necklace that you're wearing, you can just slip that over your head.
But it does have the claw also.
So for smaller ones that you can't just slip over your head and you fumble around, and sometimes they're the little circle kind, the little dainty kind, especially if you've got like long nails and stuff. I will rededicate my life to Jesus trying to put those things on, and sometimes have to go find my husband.
Will rip it off me because I've been down to pet my dog.
And he'll put his paw in there.
Right.
Okay. I have discovered magnetic clasps.
I love that.
They're so great. And so I have them on every single one of my necklaces. They're so inexpensive on Amazon. And so at the end of the day, if I have like layered my necklaces, I will just go in and just one by one, just undo them. And I'm not having to fumble with the clasp and things. Here's what's amazing though, for like your elderly parents, your elderly mothers that love wearing their jewelry, but they just can't make their fingers work to get their necklaces on. It's perfect. So
now,
we bought my mom some.
Those magnets aren't going to make all the metal in my body just like.
That is a possibility.
Not that I have
that
metal.
Is that.
I do have metal. I don't know. Is titanium metal?
Yeah, it's a type of metal.
It just
Isn't
doesn't
it
react.
Titanium? I can't think of what else it would be.
Vibranium.
It's that's from Black Panther. That's a vibranium is a mythical, like not a real.
No, it's
thing.
So
Okay,
it's in my hip and my tailbone.
It's what Captain America's shield is made out of, vibranium. So yeah, there you go. And those are just all the fun things that I've learned lately.
I have a trick that I learned. Oh, how does it work if I learned something? I'm going to throw in there something, a life hack that you're going to love, but I learned it from somebody else on YouTube.
Yeah.
Can I say it?
Yes.
I don't remember who they are, though.
We can always, that's how I've discovered all the things that I've learned is from somebody else.
Because you said magnets.
Yes.
If you don't have a stud finder, you can get a magnet and find the nails that have been shot into your studs with a magnet. So this guy put a magnet in some blue tape.
Yes.
And he just held it along the wall until the magnet would.
Okay.
And it found a nail, and he'd put a spot. There's a nail there, and he'd go above it and make sure that there's another nail above it.
Why do you need to find the nails in your wall?
Well, it helps you find the stud. Whenever you're trying to find a stud, but you don't have a stud finder, if you get a magnet, you can find the nails.
Oh, I have another one. You just reminded me of another one. Speaking of magnets,
we're brilliant.
We're just like solving so much today.
What?
Just making your life. See what the Major Smile podcast does for you.
You had no idea.
If you don't have a smile on your face,
you should.
Listening
because
to
we've
these.
got tidbits.
It's just
we are so full.
Making
ourselves.
your life better.
Stuff we read
one
from
podcast
other people
at a time.
Smarter than us.
We gather information.
We're a
and then
conglomerate.
Put it down into bite-sized
so that you understand.
Tidbits. Wow, we're so amazing. I just love us so much. But here's my last one. You can so many times, especially if you have newer models of this.
Why are you distracted?
My daughter just texted me. So we're
I
recording
saw your
this.
eyes.
If you're not watching this, and she's at Target, and I'm about to get a big text because it was all caps mom, which means she made a huge discovery
at Target.
Target has the Clinique Black Honey lipstick. Okay. If you have young daughters in their 20s, they're probably on TikTok, and this is here's another thing. That's just a whole different thing. So
at Target, go.
Okay, there's a thing called Black Honey lipstick, and Clinique makes it. It's gone viral. Elf, the makeup brand Elf, also has one. The reason why these girls love this lipstick so much right now.
Why?
Is because it's like $25 freaking dollars though. She said by the e.l.f. It is a color that they call it the Arwen lip. So the Lord of the Rings,
Right.
Liv Tyler plays Arwen, the elf,
don't remember her lips
the
in that.
movie, and she has these beautiful,
It doesn't register with me.
deep berry
Okay.
lips. And so apparently that's all the rage right now. And so my daughter is obsessed with makeup, and particularly that brand and that color. So
you heard it here.
If you
made
go
you smile.
to Walmart, to Target, Clinique has it. It's called Black Honey, but e.l.f., the makeup brand, also has a version. I can't remember the name of it, but it's a lip oil, which is amazing. I can't wear that color because I'm too pale and pasty and blonde. But my daughter, who has beautiful chestnut brown hair like her dad, she can wear it and pull it off, and it's great. And it would probably look very good on
with
you
my white
as
hair?
well. Well, I don't know.
Or gray. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
Hey,
maybe.
when do you move from gray into being white haired?
Anytime you darn well please, young
Okay.
lady. You go tell your hairstylist. Let me get to this last thing
I
though
know.
before we hang
Distracted.
up. You can, if you have a iPad, and I haven't tried it with phones yet, but they've got like your iPad because it something about the covers or something. They have magnets in the back of them, and so if you take your iPad out of its case, it will magnetize onto your refrigerator.
Interesting.
And so if you have a recipe that's on your iPad,
is it secure enough to hold it?
No, not for me. I've tried it and I don't trust it, but I've seen some people that it will just click right on there onto their refrigerator.
I wonder if that's the charging, because now they put the magnet, the charging ability into the.
Yep. There are cases called MagSafe.
Right,
cases.
That's what I have on my phone.
Yeah, so try it. See if it'll work. But mine does. I've got my little iPad mini. Now, my big iPad, which I use as consider my laptop, doesn't have that. It won't do that. But my little one will stick to the refrigerator.
Interesting.
Isn't that amazing? All these amazing
tips that
things
you learn,
that just...
And you found it here.
You found it
or
right here.
While you were
Listen,
scrolling on YouTube and you saw it first there.
We are nothing if not servants to the community.
Servants
of
information
to mankind, of making your life,
you know what,
so much better.
We don't dismantle things.
We mantle them.
I have a question.
Well, I had a question for you.
Why does one eye decide to water and the other one doesn't?
I don't know. That is a super good question.
I don't remember this when I was younger.
Maybe it's just, I don't know. Whatever's affecting.
I'm very careful around my eyes when I put stuff on because I think I have sensitive eyes. But sometimes this one goes, you know what?
Yeah.
I'm just feeling emotional right now.
Interesting.
It just decides to just water.
Who knows? It's a mystery.
What did you say to Brenna today at the table? Your eyes were sweating with emotion.
I was sweating through my eyes.
Your eyes.
Because I was watching a video of her singing, and I was like,
Mom.
I'm sweating out of my eyeballs, meaning I'm boohooing.
Sorry, I was distracted because I was having to wipe away this eye.
Yeah.
This eye, I can tell it's going to give me trouble today. This eye.
That's
not
the one.
this one.
You know what? Now that I'm looking at your face,
my left eye.
That eye is a little bit shut. Your other eye is wider.
I think I've always had that. I have like a very lopsided
I've
face.
never noticed that, but right now it looks like maybe you've got an allergy in one side.
Maybe it's decided just to be allergic on this side, on my left side.
Who even knows?
Okay, what was the thing you were going to tell me?
Okay, I have like a it's not even a hot take. I think I just thought it was an interesting discussion. but I don't know what the societal expectation is of correcting someone else's child.
Ooh, that's hard.
What's your take? Like, I think it's situational, obviously. It's always going to be situational.
Right.
But
If my child were involved,
yes,
then I think I'm seeing, dangerous or
yes,
kind of emotional behavior that's not going to be good for my child. I think I would step in.
yeah,
But I think a lot of times I felt like I had a good parenting plan when I was raising my children.
Yeah.
And so when I felt like I wished I could say something, I really tried to just model,
yeah,
like, just show through example.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
how would I get my child to stop running around the table
Right.
in the restaurant?
Yes.
And would model that and hope it would be picked up. That's
Yeah.
a very passive way.
Yeah.
Instead of,
Well,
but I don't know. So
and
what's
they're
your
not
thoughts?
paying attention to you. They're not paying attention to what you're doing.
We did have the rule of when my kids would bring children over of in our home.
Yeah. Yes.
So you were
Yeah.
able to say that may be allowed in your home, but in
In
our home,
this is the rules.
this is
Yeah.
the rules.
I try to stay out of it. I really, really try to stay out of it. If I will,
And I agree.
I will give looks. If a child is acting up, I will give him like a look of like,
Oh, that lady, that scary lady
that is
over
not
there.
acceptable. There was a Randy and I last year when we went on our big anniversary vacation cruise, and we stopped at one of the ports, and I can't
I
remember
believe
which.
that's been almost a year.
I know, I can't either.
How is that? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I know, right? But one of the places that we stopped, I want to say it was in Florence, Italy. Anyway, it was the American family, and they were walking in front of us. Well, these are European cities, and the sidewalks are really skinny. And so you can only walk 2x2, and anybody coming towards you, you have to
Somebody's
step out
gonna
into
have
the
to-
street,
right.
and you have to. So in front of us was this family of 4, and the mom and dad were walking in front, and their 2 sons were walking behind them. Young, elementary-aged sons were walking behind them, and then we were behind the boys. And so they started goofing off and pushing one another and acting like I'm going to push you out in the street. And the parents were not
Paying
attention at all. And so, and they were roughhousing with each other as they were walking. And Randy and I periodically would have to stop and stumble because those boys were just goofing off so much. And so I finally went, hey, stop that. Stop that. Don't do that again. And they turned around and looked at me, and the youngest ran up and grabbed his mom's hand and was kind of like, and that was it. And they stopped, and they just kind of,
Did the parents say anything to
no,
you?
they didn't know. They didn't know that we
okay.
had done that, and the boys didn't run up to him and go, that lady
Okay,
said,
that seems like a safety issue. Like I would want somebody to
yes,
jump in if my
same,
child was going to get hit
And
by a
so-
car.
But then we got on a much broader part where no traffic was, and there were these ladies who were I'm pretty sure they were from Spain, spoke Spanish, and no English at all. And I could tell I'd had enough of Duolingo by then to kind of tell a little bit of what they were talking about. They were talking about those boys, and they were still goofing off. Parents still weren't fully paying attention. And so one of the older ladies of that group, probably an abuela, saw the boy, and she was trying to get him to hold her hand because he was acting, like thinking about running out in the street and just being careless. And so she was trying to talk to him in her own language and and the other ladies were cackling and having fun because apparently was her MO with
Right.
children. Like she was trying to make these children
Yeah.
behave.
I'll
And so I'm watching that, and I could tell the only words I could make out that they were saying is, this boy's going to run out in the street and get hit by a car. I could tell that was their concern. And so she would try and go up and say, don't do that. No, that's not smart. And it scared this little boy to death. And I looked back at the ladies and I was like, and they said something and they started laughing. And I understood enough of the joke that they said that I turned around and laughed. And that surprised the ladies. But we finally got towards the buses where we were about to get on the buses. And the mom and the dad had just been engrossed in conversation, not paying attention at all to these boys. And so I went up to the mom and I came up alongside her and I said, hey, I just want you to know that this is what happened. I corrected your boys. And then these other ladies, I think they scared him because they didn't speak any English and she was trying to hold his hand. And she looked up at me and she was like, oh, yeah, he told me about the lady trying to hold, the older lady. And so I said, it's fine. It's okay. And she goes, yeah, they've been goofing off too much. And I'm like, well,
only because
to
it's
your
been allowed.
child.
Yeah.
And so but it just got me to thinking, like, I love the idea of other moms and dads seeing behavior that, to an extent, of just like, because I know my son, out of my view, out of my, out from under my eye, is going to act like a fool when he was younger. He's going to go do stupid things. And Rachel would have been, she's the adventurer. So she was always a very obedient child, very rule follower. But every now and then her sense of adventure would take over and she'd wander off.
I think it depends on, I would have a hard time. I think it probably, for some parents, it feels like an indictment on your parenting.
Yes.
But I would, if it were for their safety, I know I would welcome it. If it was because they were behaving in a way somebody else thought was too much, but, that would be harder. I remember we went to a restaurant. It was a barbecue restaurant. It had levels. So there was an eating level down lower, and then you could go up a couple of steps into almost like a hallway with booth type eating level.
Yeah.
And we had gone out with some church friends that we hadn't caught up with in a long time.
Yes.
And a Sunday school class came. A young parents' Sunday school class came. And they decided to sit all their children up in that upper area so the parents could sit down low and converse and have adult, just have normal conversations and not pay attention to their children.
Yeah.
Feeling like, okay, that they're close enough to us, we can stop anything that if one looks like they're about to die, but, far enough that we can carry on a conversation. Well, the kids were so rowdy up in the booths up there unsupervised and acting like children, as children do, and opportunities.
Unsupervised children,
And they were with their friends as well. You could tell they're all growing up together, but it was miserable being the family across the aisle from them.
Yes.
So Greg turned and said something to the effect of, that's not how we behave in a restaurant.
Yeah.
And we're trying to have a conversation.
Yeah.
So you need to sit and talk quietly and have your meals. I don't know how detailed. I cannot remember the exact words. It was not unkind.
Yes.
But Greg, in a
He
dad
was stern.
voice, he had the good dad voice of, this is going to stop. Well, one of the dads saw that and had a problem and came up and spoke. He said, do you have a problem with my children? He said, yes, when we can't carry on a conversation, we do.
Yeah.
And the dad
That's what drives me crazy. Yeah.
No.
Don't you dare.
You don't need to be talking to my children.
Yeah. Then
parent your children. And it was hard. I'm sure it's hurtful and embarrassing, especially if you've been called out. I don't know. I'm not sure the answers to that. One of the reasons is we parented our children.
Yes.
I feel like we didn't turn them loose or expect other people to suffer their, suffer with them because we are deciding to check out on being parents.
Right.
So I don't know, but if it came back at me, I know that if I did hear things from my mom or dad about choices I would make in maybe getting them involved in too many things,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
should they wear that?
Yeah.
And every time you
That's-
heard that
yeah.
kind of ding, or
Yeah.
I remember them eating a Pop-Tart and Mom making me feel like, well, protein is the better
Sure.
choice.
Yeah.
And those were parenting choices as well, and
Yeah.
it stings
Yeah.
to receive it. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I think we had a handle on the discipline part and
Yeah.
the obedience part with our
Yes.
kids.
Same.
But there were other choices I made that I know my parents thought, I think you could have chosen differently.
Yeah.
And to hear that
Yeah.
it would sting. So.
I think
Was that a good enough non-answer?
sure, absolutely. That was.
I don't
good
want to stand firm.
That was
on
a good
anything.
diplomatic answer. And I think it's situational. I think it's just situational. Randy is quick to give the eye to a kid that won't stop screaming, and especially and we are far more lenient on parents as far as like, would you do something? Like, you're just going to sit there and let your child just scream bloody murder while everybody else is like, it's piercing our ears. I can't.
I had a 2-year-old. I could not walk past the candy
Yeah.
section
Yes.
when at the grocery store. They
Yes.
set that up to torment mothers.
Yep. Yes.
And
For
the
little
balloons.
hands.
The
Yep.
balloons are there. Some
Yep.
little toys. Some little things.
Yep.
And so I was the mother with a temper throwing
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
I would refuse to cave to that.
Yeah.
I would park my groceries somewhere and say, hopefully I'll have my husband come back with that.
Yep.
When parents see you addressing a situation,
We are all over it.
then
We're
there is
just
kindness
whatever
galore
we can do to support you.
and
Yep.
understanding.
As long as you're,
But I would say as long as it's not really affecting you, like it wasn't affecting my children,
Yeah.
I can maybe be, I'm so good at being judgmental.
Yeah. Same.
That's my
when
wait,
it comes to
that's not
parenting. Yeah.
Wait, that isn't in the spiritual gifts,
No.
is it?
Judgmental.
I keep trying to throw it
It's
in.
not a fruit of the spirit.
It's not.
Nor is it a spiritual gift.
So I may think something, but I don't feel it's my place
Yeah.
to step in if it's not in any way affecting my family or
Yeah.
Greg, or for example in the restaurant, our ability to carry on a conversation with people we haven't seen in a long time.
Yeah.
Then I
There was
I pray for them.
Yes, yes, I will pray for you.
I would pray
There was a situation once where my kids were grown, and they had, I think it was Rachel had something in her hand that she was looking at, and the other family that we were with, the toddler, it wasn't even a toddler at that, it was probably 5 years old, maybe 6, just walked up. And Rachel was just really engrossed in the thing that she was looking at, and it didn't belong to anybody really. And the daughter of the family that we were with just walked up and took it out of Rachel's hand, and Rachel was just like, okay, I guess I'm not looking at that anymore. And they were right next to me when that happened, and I said, hey, come here for a second, to the kid. And the kid came over, and I said, hey, Rachel was looking at that, and that's not very nice to walk up and just take something out of somebody's hand. So can we try something different? Can you take that back, go give it back to her, and then ask her politely, hey, may I see that? Can we do that? And the dad saw me doing that, and he lost his mind. Like, he was like, what are you doing? What'd she do? What are you, just come over here right now? And so I was like, no.
He lost
it's
it on
okay,
his child.
on his child, because he was embarrassed.
I have seen that
the
reaction
child,
too.
So it was overkill of
To
a
the child,
correction to a
right.
child. I was like, no, it's okay.
okay.
I've
This is
got
just a
it.
te-
I've
yeah.
got it. Sit down right now. I've got this handled. I said, no,
I
we're just
appreciate
learning.
the idea
We're
behind
learning.
that. Is
Yeah.
like, look, I'm sorry, my daughter, but
Yeah, but he wouldn't let it go, and then the kid got in trouble, and I was just trying to have a teachable moment there, and not blow this up. So now everybody's embarrassed. Now the child's embarrassed. Now you're embarrassed. And if you had just let this play out and trusted me, and we know this other family well enough that I have that wisdom, there's a elder respect there of of
had
maybe something good is happening over there without you being embarrassed about it.
I imagine me saying, yeah, I think I had the discipline thing under control, and I'm just sitting here going through all the teachers that are probably going, oh, so you thought you did.
Yeah.
You thought
yes,
you know. I mean, we really didn't.
No, totally.
But the funny thing that happened with one of our children, I won't mention their name.
You
and
won't
embarrass them.
out
It was
the
Caleb.
kid. It was Caleb. It usually, I just always assume it's going to be Caleb. It's always the ones that become pastors
So
in your
sweet.
family.
Yeah.
That was us.
He got in trouble at school for something, and the teacher, it was really unusual for us to get any kind of call from a teacher, because most of the time what we heard from is your children are so
well behaved,
respectful and well behaved and whatever. And so we got a call from the teacher, and I'm listening to this, and so after it's done, I said, and you want the teacher to know you have their back, but I said, well, let me tell you what's going to happen to Caleb in his life in the near future. And I told him how his father, we're going to have a conversation with the father, and I told him every way that Caleb's life was about to change for a good 2-3 weeks and everything. And by the end, the teacher was going, oh, no, okay, well, no, listen, Caleb, he hardly ever, I mean, he was like arguing and pleading the case for Caleb. And listen, we weren't talking capital punishment type stuff.
Yeah.
But he felt like it was overkill for what was going on. And so protective of Caleb. It's like, Caleb's a really good kid. And I was like, I know he's a good kid. I love my kids.
Yes.
But he's going to, he made a poor decision, and this is what's going to happen. But it was kind of funny.
My sister, who taught middle school math for many years, oh, God bless her. That is not my testimony whatsoever. That is just not in my wheelhouse. But she was very good at it, very, very good at it. And part of the problem with where she was, in a lot of the schools that she taught, they were so concerned with scores and sports and making sure athletes passed so they could play. And it was a mess. And so it got too much for her. And I know there's whole sets of problems now with, teachers and administration and just the exhaustion that comes from it. But she said she had this one mom whose son was a football player. And he just would not do the work. He wouldn't turn his homework in. He wouldn't study. He just wouldn't. He was just not. It looked as if he just wasn't even trying in his class. And so she had a parent-teacher meeting with the mom, and the mom was like, "Got it. Okay." She went nuclear, and it was time though. It was time to go nuclear. She took the door off of his room, had it taken off, and took all of his clothes and left him with one pair of jeans and one t-shirt and a pair of socks and a pair of sneakers. You earn back your clothes.
Oh.
When you go to school, she'd had it. This was a mom who was at the end of her rope, and she had it. And so when you turn in your homework, you don't even have to make A's. If you just make an effort, show up to tutoring like Miss Plummer has told you to, and start, let me see some progress, you can start earning your clothing back one at a time. And eventually you get to have your door put back on when you show that you're going to be responsible with all of this, I'm taking this away from you. And you will understand the comfort and convenience of which you are accustomed to is not.
And you'll be appreciative.
Appreciative more of it.
I have a funny thought though. As I sit here and say, we had a pretty good handle on discipline, how we whatever. I cannot tell you how many times my children have, at holidays or stuff, have started chuckling about all the stuff I did not know about.
Yes.
Here I think, I've done, and so same way, teachers and other people going, yeah, you thought you had a handle on it.
Yes.
This is maybe God's protection over you.
Yes.
over
yes.
you thinking, but they still made it. They
made
it through.
They grew up. I'm sure there are.
Caleb made it through skating down the. What did he and I'm going to say it, the pastor's son. So they're both actually ministers now.
It's okay because I was a preacher's kid.
They're pastor's son.
Same with my kid.
Would go down into the storm tunnels.
Oh, gosh.
And would skate down the storm tunnels.
Oh, good
and
heavens.
A storm came.
Oh, good grief.
And so what we'd call a gully washer. So they were down. Those are the horror stories that you hear about.
Good heavens.
And the other thing that we used to always say to Caleb quite a bit, because he had a mouth where he was so smart. I mean, he was so witty.
Yes.
Quick-witted.
Yeah.
That he would catch Greg and I, and he would say something very witty that would have the kids laughing and even us chuckling reluctantly. And our word to Caleb quite a bit while he was growing up was wisdom, Caleb.
Wisdom, yeah.
Wisdom. So
have the wisdom.
I hope my dream, he has a little boy now. My dream is that someday we're sitting around the table and I hear Caleb say to his son, wisdom.
Yeah.
Wisdom.
Wisdom.
We got, you gonna give us a good word?
You know what?
From the Lord.
I've been going through, reading through my Bible, 90 days, read through the Bible. And I've heard Isaiah called the Shakespeare of the Bible. Like he is definitely has such a poetic way of just delivering truth.
Yeah.
Yes. And so, hey, we love to end our podcast with a word from the Lord. And also, I just want to remind everybody, tell somebody about our podcast. Yeah. We sure would love to grow. And the best way that we grow is word of mouth. And so if you would be so very kind to ask your barista, hey,
you want to smile?
Have you smiled lately? There is a podcast. Well, I got a podcast for you. So
these ladies give a bunch of fairy
that's
dust,
just
little pointers,
amazing
just
little life hacks that's going to make your life.
That they gather from all over.
Yeah. This is from Isaiah 40, and I love this because he's reflecting on, I think it's more than just a reflection, but it's recognizing God, who God is. And chapter 40, and starting in verse 12 through 15, it says, "Who has measured the waters in the hollow of his hand, and marked off the heavens with a span, enclosed the dust of the earth in a measure, and weighed the mountains in scales and the hills in a balance? Who has measured the Spirit of the Lord, or what man shows him his counsel? Whom did he consult, and who made him understand? Who taught him the path of justice, and taught him knowledge, and showed him the way of understanding? Behold, the nations are like a drop from a bucket, and are accounted as the dust on the scales. Behold, he takes up the coastlands like fine dust." That's the God that we serve, is a God that has no beginning and has no ending, and did not need anybody to teach him, tell him what to do.
And just a little bit of me says, we don't get to put God in our box.
Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
He is God. He makes the decisions.
Yep.
He decides how we function, operate, what he wants.
Yeah.
Good and bad. We don't.
I'm so thankful that I don't have to, that's a comfort to me.
Right. And he doesn't make it hard to know who he is.
Who he is.
So
he makes it very plain, very easily.
There's peace in that.
Yes, there is. There is. I know a lot of people struggle with why would you serve a God who's so, what God who is so all powerful and lets all these things happen and just all those things. And for me, I'm just like, oh, I'm so glad I don't have to worry about anything. I'm so glad that I have put my faith in a God that when things don't make sense, when wars are going on all around us and it's confusing and you wonder why all these things are happening, that I serve a God who has it all planned out, is in control of it all.
Our resident Bible nerd,
Kelly Matthews
would say,
Dr. Kelly Matthews.
Dr. Kelly Matthews now says, you start with the premise, God is good all the time.
All the time.
I mean, he's
all
God
the time.
is good.
Yep.
So when you don't understand,
Yes,
we weren't meant to understand everything.
it's true. Thank goodness. Yeah.
But I understand this.
What?
Because I learned it for a long time since I was little.
For a long time.
Long time. A long day.
A long day.
Jesus loves you.
You can't mess that up.